Hola amigos, ¿cómo están? My name is Dan and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking all things Classico Tapatio that happened last weekend. Chivas versus Atlas, obviously, at Atlas's place at the Estadio Jalisco, which is cool. I've been there, which is great. Not been in the stadium, but I've been out on the outside, which is great. Just thought I'd throw that in there. And yeah, massive game. Derby day, as like I said, Derby day weekend last week. And yeah, huge game. Obviously, we needed a win to get higher up to the table so that we can get so we can secure direct qualifications for the Liguilla. We don't do any of that repechaje crap. And we did it brilliantly. Massive goal by Piojo Alvarado secures us the 1-0 victory. Bit of a long game. The first half in particular was a bit of painful to watch, I guess. Let's just go into it. Like Atlas have been really poor this season, and we've been pretty decent. Having said that, we've had a couple of slip ups. We haven't been perfect by any means, but we've been pretty decent. But Atlas have been horrifically bad, and this was a cup final for them. This was a chance for them to kind of stunt our chances of getting to the Liguilla, which would have been a bit of a failure. Having said that, I think Gargo would have been given the benefit of the doubt, considering that he only joined in the summer. He's only been with us for a few months. It's absolutely crazy. It feels like a lot longer, actually. So yeah, they had a lot to play for in terms of pride. Obviously, it's a derby, it's a Classico, and we had massive things to play for as well. So it was a high intense game. I don't want to say it was painful in the sense that it was boring. It was just painful because we couldn't really break them down. Defensively, they were pretty solid the whole game. Didn't really offer us any real chances. I think they only had one shot on goal, one shot on target the whole game. We only had two, and we scored that one. So it wasn't like both teams were looking like they were scoring at any point. But it was painful. At the same time, you're thinking, okay, well, as long as we don't concede, if we concede, I can't see us getting the win. So defensively, we were pretty solid. Mozo was brilliant in my opinion. Tyler Rangel, well, I mean, could and probably will make a whole video just based on him. I've been following him for a long time, for the last couple of, like, year or two, mainly because I watch a lot of the U23s team games. And some of the Tapatio games as well if they're available. But most of the time I watch all the under 18s and under 23 games as and when I can, because they're shown on YouTube, like I said multiple times. So I've gotten used to Rangel. I got to see him. I don't think he played when I went to the game against Pachuca at the beginning, not at the beginning of the season, but back in September. Last year, actually, it was the last tournament. We didn't play, obviously Wacho played that game. We drew 0-0 with Pachuca, but I got to be on the pitch, I got to be on the field, and I saw Rangel train with Wacho. They were doing their goalkeeper warming up stuff, which is cool, so I was quite relatively close to him. So I've got a bit of an affinity for Tyler Rangel, and I think he's had a really good season. He's still young. In terms of goalkeepers, I think he's 22 or 23. So he's still got a lot to go in terms of developing his game and developing into his full maturity in terms of a player. But yeah, brilliant. I mean, this is another clean sheet for him. I think there's 6 clean sheets now in 17 games. I think he's only conceded 17 goals. So it's a goal a game on average, sure, but still, I think it's a good return for a goalkeeper in his first season in the senior team. Blatantly number one now. I don't think there's any question of Wally or Wacho coming back or whatever taking over for him. I think he's going to be number one now for a while. And that's great. I'm really happy for him. I think, the fact that our defence is kind of solidified a little bit now with the addition of Castillo. I think he's been a decent player in the last few games for us. So I think he's probably going to start in the Liguilla for us. Mozo, like I said, I think Tiba scored a couple of games ago. A really good header from him, and obviously Chiquete is probably our best, or he's definitely our best centre back right now. I think he's one of the best centre backs in the league. Don't think that's too much of a stretch to say. I don't know whether the whole PSP thing is going to come into fruition, but you best believe there are going to be European clubs interested in him, and I really hope that we do find the right club for him and the right league for him, and we let him go and do the Europe thing, because I think if any player in Chivas right now deserves to go to Europe, it's him. So hopefully that happens. But at the same time, I hope he doesn't leave because he's our best defender and we're a lot stronger with him than we are without. I still think we need a new centre back in the summer. Briseño is decent now, but he's, for me anyway, his form's dipping off a little bit now. So yeah, another clean sheet for Talavera, which is great. And wonder goal from Piojo Alvarado, who took him a long time to get going this season. I can remember talking in the first 2 or 3, or maybe even 4 games of the season, complaining that he wasn't stepping up enough. Obviously we lost Vega. Padilla wasn't starting, so a lot of the attacking influence has been on him. K. Cal was kind of disappeared a little bit. He was starting a few games for us, but now he's kind of not. I think he's struggling to even come off the bench as well. He came off the bench at Atlas, but I think he got booked within the first 10 seconds of him being on the pitch, which isn't great. It was a bad foul, to be honest with you, and it's just like, what are you doing? Similar to what Padilla did. Padilla came on the bench last tournament, I think it was, and got red carded. So, and he hasn't pretty much barely played ever since. So, I'm a bit worried about Padilla, to be honest with you. Going on a bit of a side note on him, he's not playing for the under-21s, under-23, sorry, and he's not playing for Tapatio. So, at the moment, he's not playing. So hopefully, I wouldn't mind a loan move for him. If we're not going to play him, if Gargo's not going to play him, which I don't think we are, I think talks about Chucky, I think we might get a new winger in, but loan him out. I just don't want to sell him. Padilla's an absolute star player, and I just don't want to see him leave permanently, but I think that's what's going to happen. But anyway, the whole attacking impetus has really been on Piojo, and a little bit Ricardo Marin as well, but Marin's kind of dried up of late. He hasn't scored for a while now. Chicharito's had a little bit of a bit part, like I always say. And I think he was brought in for that reason. We didn't buy Chicharito, we didn't sign him so that he could play game in, game out, play all the time. Obviously, it would be great if we could do that, but I think Chicharito is at his time in his career now where he can't physically play a 90-minute game anymore. I don't think he's 100 total. I don't think he's totally over his injury, to be honest with you. I think he's over it in terms of the fact that he can play, but I just don't think he's over that. He hasn't regained his match sharpness. He does have a goal and an assist as well, I believe, but for me, Chicharito was just mainly for the locker room, for the squad. I think, his experience helps the squad a lot, especially young players. And we've got a lot of young players, so they could benefit from him. So, brilliant. Brilliant win. 1-0 win. It's all we needed, to be honest with you. We got direct qualifications to Liguilla. We've got Toluca in the quarterfinals. That's going to be interesting against Vega and Angulo, who have been doing very well with Toluca. Toluca have done really well this season, in my opinion. One of the dark horses in this season. So it's going to be 2 tough games. Vega's probably going to have a point to prove. I think he loves Chivas, the club. Maybe he probably doesn't like 1 or 2 people in the club, but I think overall, I think he loves the club. And I think also the fact that, maybe the fans, he got a lot of backlash from the fans. I think some of it was warranted and some of it was not warranted. It kind of got messy. It was a messy breakup. But having said that, he left well. He didn't pick up a fuss. He didn't speak for months afterwards. Didn't do an interview. And he's done a couple of interviews. He did podcasts. He did Angulo's podcast a while back. Just saying all the right things. Like, I love the club. They did really well. I played with the whole heart. And that's it. He hasn't talked smack. He could have done. He could have talked smack about the club. Talk about Chakotay going to America. He said some shit. And some other players have done the same. So, and he hasn't. He left well, in my opinion. And it'll be interesting to see what he does against Chivas. It'd be weird to see him play against Chivas again. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I said to my mate, I said, I wouldn't be surprised at all if he scores against us at some point over the next 2 games. But we've got a really good squad, and I think we're starting to finally settle down now. The Gargo kind of knows what the players he likes and what players he doesn't like. And the team have gotten used to him, gotten used to each other. Tadamon Hell's obviously the new goalkeeper. Castillo's a new defender. obviously getting Kate Howland as well. Yeah, the whole question about Pocho thing. I'm not gonna talk about Pocho now really till the end of the season. People say that he's gonna leave. Well, I think it'd be a massive blow and a stupid thing to do. Let Pocho go. I think you know, fan bases online can be really toxic, no matter who it is. Every fan base, Arsenal's fan base online is toxic, and so is Chivas's. I think Chivas fans love to have a scapegoat. They love to have somebody to blame everything on one person, and it was Vega for a while. And I remember tweeting it out. I said, "Well, I'm very interested to see who the next scapegoat is going to be because Vega served the purpose of, well, we lost this game. It was Vega's fault. Vega didn't want to go to Europe. It's Vega's fault. Blah blah blah." So yeah, it looks like it's Pocho now. Let's be real about that. It looks like Pocho is the one that's getting blamed for everything. He's not doing enough. I think he's one of our top scorers. I think Alvarado has overtaken him now in terms of goals, but there's not many. I don't think there's anyone else really. I think Marin's quite close, but other than that, no one's relatively near. He's got, I think, he's still got 6 goals for us. Okay, I think 3 of them are penalties, but still, 6 goals is 6 goals. Um, and people talk about him. I don't know. It just bugs me a little bit because Pocho is a really great player. Really, really great player, and he scores goals for us. He's a captain of the team. Trito's kind of disrupted that. I think he's lost some of his authority in terms of, I'm the captain, do what I say kind of thing. Because even when he wasn't scoring, you could tell he was dictating players on the pitch. He was telling people where to go and what to do. He's that kind of man manager. He's a captain material. He's in his prime now. He knows his league inside out. He's won the league before with Pachuca. So I think it's stupid to kind of just go, oh no, Pocho out. I think it's stupid. But anyway, I'll probably do a video on the whole transfers and stuff, players leaving and stuff at the end of the season. I kind of like doing that. But right now, just focusing on Toluca. Like I said all the time, just get to Liguilla. Once you get to Liguilla, anything can happen. We proved that last time when we got to the final against Tigres. We should have won that league. I'm going to be butthurt about that for a long, long, long time. But Gago's a bit of an unknown. It's the first time in Liguilla. He doesn't really know what Liguilla is like. So it's going to be a bit of an interesting experience for him. And yeah, if we can get past Toluca and get to the semi-finals, I don't think getting knocked out in the semi-finals is a bad thing in terms of honour for Gago. I think his first season in the club. I mean, Paulo did it. To be fair to him, he got Liguilla in his first season. I think he got Liguilla in his second tournament as well. And that's So I mean, Gago's got a lot to live up to. Paulo was the best coach we've had since Almeida, hands down, without a shadow of a doubt. And Gago has a lot to live up to in that. Paulo deserved a trophy, to be honest with you. Let's just be real. Gago's got a lot to live up to, and he's super young as well. He's barely older than me. Yes, this job I think has been a lot of experience for him. US is one of the biggest clubs in the world football, and there's pressure on Chivas than there isn't really on many other teams, and I think he's found that out, and I think he's settled though. I think he's settled, but again, Liguilla, it's all about cup finals. Every game is a cup final now. And the first round's at home at the Akron, so we need to massively put a stamp on that. If we can get a decent win at home, then go to Toluca and see it out. Fair play. We couldn't do that with America actually in the CONCACAF Champions League, but we can. I think we're more than capable of, doing a job over Toluca. But it's going to be a tough game. Two tough games, should I say? And yeah, if we can get past Toluca, then America have been a bit wobbly of late. They've been winning games, but they're not the America over the last year or so. They're more fragile than they've been in a long time, in my opinion. Same with Rayados. Rayados had a really good start to the season. I think the first half of the season they were outright best team in the league, but they've dropped off quite heavily now. They got battered in the CONCACAF Champions League semi-finals, and I think Columbus Crew, I think even Chivas could have beaten them. No disrespect, I mean I haven't tweeted that out, but that's my personal opinion because I don't want to talk like I'm a troll or anything. I don't want to banter anyone, really. But that's my personal opinion. I think if we hadn't got America, if we'd got any other team, except for maybe Pachuca are a good team. But any other team, I think we could have got into the final of the CONCACAF. Anyway, yeah, so America a bit dodgy at the moment. But having said that, they do step up in the gear most of the time. Tigres as well. Tigres have been alright, just plugging away. They haven't been outstanding. They got a couple of big wins recently, but I don't know. I think they're more beatable now than they have been. And Rayados as well. Like I said, they've dropped off as well. Um, Pachuca, I think Pachuca worries me. But having said that, if we can get past Toluca, get to the semi-finals, even if we lose the semi-finals, I don't think that's a bad result for Gargo at least, and for this team. It's all experience that they're going to take into the next tournament, and it's all about building upon the last season. And hopefully Gargo gets a chance to do that, and hopefully we get a chance to build on that experience, and maybe add a couple of players in if we get a really good centre back in, if we can get maybe a decent, really good left back, maybe, and then maybe a better striker. I think JJ Basis is going to leave. Marin's not, I don't think he's the striker that's going to win us tournaments. But having said that, he could score a few goals against Toluca and get us to the final. So, what do I know? But yeah, anyway, guys, I'm waffling on now, so I'm going to stop. Really good win against Atlas. Really great to be in the gear again. I love this feeling. I'm going to savour it for as long as possible. For being, obviously coming from a European background, the whole idea of Liguilla was very foreign to me for a long while. But I've learned to love it. It's one of my favourite things about Liga MX is about Mexican football. I think they should do what A-League does and the MLS does well. When you finish top of the league in the regular season, you get a trophy, and then you get a trophy if you win Liguilla. But at the same time, I think that's what adds the magic of Liguilla is that you only get the trophy if you win Liguilla. So it's kind of weird. Like you can go unbeaten in the regular season and get to Liguilla and not win it and still not win a trophy. It's trippy as, but it's really cool. I think it adds to the whole feeling of it. The Liguilla is this feeling that I can't really describe, but it's something that I really value, and the fact that we're in it now is brilliant. And like I said, once you get to Liguilla, once you get to Liguilla, anything's gonna happen. So, yeah, next couple of weeks are gonna be really interesting. I think the first leg is midweek next week, so. I'll do a video as and when I can. I've got some work next week, but I'll figure it out. I'll do a video after every game, hopefully, and if not, I'll do a video after both games and just do a massive roundup. And hopefully we get past Toluca and get to the next round. But yeah, it's up to the football gods, I guess. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed yet, I really do appreciate it. The subscriber numbers is going up and up and up, which is brilliant, fantastic. I'm so glad that you guys are, tuning in and getting some kind of value from what I say, which is great. And I really appreciate it. Leave a comment down below as well. If you're a new subscriber, let me know. I always like replying to people. So yeah, anyway guys, thanks for watching. Take it easy and have a good weekend. And I'll see you guys next week for the Toluca game. So take it easy guys. Adios.